Hello, salutations. What it do? It's Sadot The Gamer, off out of the direct gang, no vibes like subscribe. Let's get it. Happy Friday, everybody. It is once again time for the Aftershow Podcast. I am, of course, Sadot The Gamer, joined by my co-host JayShockblast. Unfortunately, our other co-host, Casual Avenger, is busy deep in some deep dish, so he can't join us today. But we're gonna hold it down. How you doing, Mr. Blast?
I love it how you don't even like give me a chance to say I'm Casual Avenger anymore. You're just like, screw it. This is Jay.
I will not allow you to culturally appropriate our friend and co-host.
Yeah, that's what I was going for. All right, I have a confession. We'll let you make fun of me right out the gate, okay?
Oh, good.
So while while that pre-music was playing, I'm listening to it, I'm like, man, there's something wrong with it. It's like skipping. And then I realized it was because it was playing in the program and I hadn't muted the stream. So
Did you take a stupid pill with your breakfast this morning?
how did you have that? How did you have Brody ready?
I'm a fucking professional. You should know this by now.
So yeah. Anyway,
Totally unplanned. I was
that
expecting
was not planned.
I was expecting to whip that out at some point in the show. I didn't think you would serve it up so early for me.
Yeah. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like as I was listening to it, I'm like, holy, like wow, that's next level. We did not rehearse that, folks.
Whatsoever. No, but we do have a fun show for you guys today. We have a special guest, Evan Filarca, Mr. Spidey Squad himself.
Yeah.
Is going to be joining. You probably know him if you follow Marvel Spider-Man at any point. He's been holding it down since Spider-Man PS4. He's does the Spider-Man 101 videos. Big in the space. He was at San Diego Comic-Con. He was actually in Hall H along with your buddy, of course, Caboose and Uncaged Games. So he got to see the story trailer in person. And he's going to be talking about all his experiences. We're going to talk about Spider-Man theories, and I'm going to get him to spill his Venom theory. And if it's not the same as my Venom theory, I want to explain why he's wrong. So it's going to be a good time. I can't wait for it. But he's going to be joining us in about 20 minutes or so. So before that, we are going to get our Secret Invasion review out of the way, so we can focus the rest of the show mostly around Spider-Man 2. And also because Secret Invasion is the worst thing Marvel has ever done. It is absolute. I've been telling y'all for weeks the show was dog water. People are literally arguing with me in the comments the first couple of weeks saying, no, it's actually good. And now everyone is just admitting, yeah, it's dog shit. Because it absolutely is.
What's the British lady's name? Something Coleman.
Sonia. Oh, her real name?
Yeah, whatever. She's like the only good part of the show.
Yeah, and they even managed to make her a complete idiot in the finale. No one was safe in the finale of Secret Invasion. This was peak TV in terms of absolute incompetence on every level. You can write, and I'm sure you can write essays. You can teach a course on how not to create content or just by studying episode 6. I was talking about this in the stream earlier. This makes She-Hulk look like Infinity War.
Yeah.
I have to partially apologize for She-Hulk. Not sure, it's still bad, don't get me wrong, but compared to Secret Invasion, I miss She-Hulk.
yeah, it's that bad. And you guys know, like, I typically am a little more
chilly.
Yeah, I normally give it the benefit of the doubt.
Mm-hmm.
Easygoing, yeah. It's so bad. Like there's no real redeeming quality about it. And it's like, I can't believe they actually like went with this. When you look at Secret Invasion, the comic book storyline, it was epic. All right. Like there's a lot of good stuff. And I just don't understand, like, I don't get it. It was
like it was clear that they weren't going to adapt the original storyline and make that's fine. But they pitched it as, okay, we're not doing this huge epic thing. We're instead going to do this like invasion of the body snatchers grounded spy thriller, and it wasn't that at all. Like in fact, this was such a disaster. Even the director doesn't seem to know what's going on. Before the finale aired, a comment from the director came out in an interview. He basically said, "Yeah, this whole finale is basically about Nick Fury reconciling with Gravik." And not only does Nick Fury not reconcile with Gravik in the finale, they don't even meet. They're not even in the same country. Like what? Like their big plot twist was to have Nick Fury pretend like he was going to meet his death to confront Gravik, and then surprise, it's actually Gaia, and they set up a whole fight. The idea was like, okay, Nick Fury is going to go to the president with Sonya and stop Rhodey and stop the president from starting World War III. Meanwhile, Gaia is going to go confront Gravik, trick him into thinking she's Fury, and then presumably surprise attack him. Except on the surface, that's fine, but the execution of the plan is so stupid and ridiculous, it literally breaks the MCU. His genius plan was to give Gaia all of the DNA of the Avengers, not just the Avengers, the Black Order,
of literally every Marvel character you've seen so
everyone.
And not only that, when she uses their power, like she also has Drax's tattoos. Like apparently the tattoos.
Yes, the tattoos are genetic.
They're genetic. They translate with the powers. It's mind-numbingly dumb that his plan was like to put Gaia in there with Gravik so that they both have the powers, and then to just hope that Gaia is able to like beat Gravik, who has shown every step of the way that he is so vastly superior to her in every capacity.
There was literally no reason to think this plan. Like the plan was, okay, we're going to stop World War III over here, but Gaia, we're going to have Gaia pretend she's Fury, assume that Gravik is not going to test whether or not she's a Skrull, but which fair because the writers are so stupid they forgot to even add that part in this entire show. Literally, no one ever checks if anyone's a Skrull. So fair on that. He just assumed he's not going to check if that's actually Fury. Then give him all the power and hope that he doesn't instantly kill her, and then also hope that he lets her stay in the machine when he activates it to get the power, and actually beat him, because there's no reason, even with both of them having the same powers, there's no guarantee because he's the leader. He presumably trained her, so logically he should be a better fighter. So he just basically said, okay, we're just going to go 50-50 on it and hope she wins, when there's so many better ways to, it's so stupid. There's so many better ways to have even done that same stupid plan. Why would you give either of them the power? Why would you do that? What was the point?
Yeah, it makes no sense. And now, all right, so Gaia obviously is not her father, so like Fury also can't even guarantee that he's going to have any form of control over her in any possible way if she does actually win. And that's just half the issue. Like what is Sonya and Fury's aversion to just busting a cap in Rhodey's head? Like, why are we having conversations?
Or the leg. Like Sonya, in like a couple episodes ago, she shot the one guy in the leg.
Yeah, and then double tapped him at the end. You know, like she had no reserves whatsoever. Actually, I mean, maybe it's because she didn't know that Rhodey was a Skrull.
He told her last episode.
Right. But like maybe she's still like unsure I don't know. Like,
let's shoot him in the leg.
I agree.
Shoot him in the arm.
Like,
Shoot him in
there's
the head.
so many options, but instead we had to play this little cat and mouse game where all the little security guards just randomly, pop. Oh, let's pull them out of the way. Like,
they made this scene try to be so dramatic. Like, the nuke is the missile's about to launch. But who's gonna be right? Oh no, he's a Skrull. No, I'm not. Yes, you are. No, what? Shoot him! Fucking shoot him!
Yeah,
that's all you have to do.
And then in the end, that's what they end up doing anyway.
Shut him in the head.
Like, what was the point of all that?
Tension. We were just trying to create tension.
Yeah,
and it was so. Oh my god! But the Gravik thing was so stupid because they also completely undermined the entire reason that they said the Avengers couldn't be evolved. Because obviously from the beginning, people were like, why don't they just call the Avengers, have them take out the Skrull?
Right.
And Gravik's like, well, I have a plan for that. He didn't. And he never elaborated on that. And then Fury's like, well, I don't want to rely on, the aliens to come and save us. I want us to be able to do this on our own. Then he changed his answer after that again to, well, it's personal. That's why I don't want the Avengers. This is personal. I don't care if we lose. This is personal to me. I want to finish this on my own terms. Okay, but then you trusted the fate of the world to an alien anyway and gave her all of the Avengers powers.
Yeah.
And you gave it to the enemy too.
Yeah. So like what's his grand plan now, Like Gaia's obviously gonna either
He just left.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah, and he left after turning the president into a hate monger.
Yeah, don't even start on how stupid the president is.
Yeah,
all alien. He didn't have to tell the public all that. You know exactly almost who the Skrulls took over. You have an inventory of all the leaders that they captured and held underneath that Russian nuclear power plant. You can just go if you were just trying to assassinate them. You could literally just go through the list of everyone you rescued and double tap.
Yeah, what was it about Gaia's blast that he like couldn't heal from this time?
Plot. Apparently, it had to be plot because, like in Amazo, like in some incarnation of Amazo, they limited his power by saying, okay, he has all the power, but he can only use them one at a time. So the trick to beating Amazo was you bait him into using one power, and then you quickly counter him so that he can't use any of his other powers. But they didn't give either of them that restriction because we could see they can freely use all of the powers at the same damn time. So there's literally no reason why he shouldn't have healed. We've seen him heal from worse.
So maybe like you have to blow a big enough hole out of the chest so that like the heart is completely eliminated and it can't grow back in time.
Or it would have made sense if she vaporized them, like there was nothing left.
Yeah.
But she just put a hole. She just put a hole in his chest.
Yeah. Which I'm pretty sure we saw him recover from.
We've seen Jedi recover from holes in their chest. What is this shit? He realized he has. Not only does he have the Extremis healing, they have Thanos, Drax, Hulk,
Groot healing.
Groot.
Yeah.
They should literally be unkillable.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, she is Khaleesi, Mother of Dragons, Breaker of Chains.
Keeper of a million victims, because at the end she showed Sonya where the other million Skrulls are keeping the people they captured. Granted, they didn't have to capture those people. Like it's one thing to capture the world leaders and Brody and everything because they're strategic. you didn't have to abduct those other people. You could have just turned into anyone. You could have turned into someone who was dead and assume their identity.
Yeah, it's honestly, it's such a mess. It's like I wanted to like it. I really did. I liked Samuel L. Jackson. It seemed like it was going to be interesting. I didn't mind the whole spy thriller aspect to it, but man, it just
that's the thing. It wasn't even a spy thriller. Like there was very basic genre conventions that were expected with this because it's basically invasion of the body snatchers with spies. There was no spycraft whatsoever. The closest we got to spycraft was Sonya, and it was mainly just her doing British things while shooting people. Like there was like no one at any point in the entire show questions whether or not someone is a Skrull that they're talking to. There's no point in the show where you're unsure if someone that's on your side is a Skrull or an enemy or not, because they didn't disguise the fact that Rhodey was a Skrull. Because it'd be one thing if Rhodey was, acting like he was in character, and then all of a sudden he's changing, and you're like, wait a minute. No, Rhodey was an asshole the entire time, and you were like, oh, he's definitely a Skrull. Rhodey, the real Rhodey would never happily fire Nick Fury for trying to help.
I will say, like, probably the most interesting thing that came out of it was trying to figure out like where in the movies the switch happened.
Yeah, it? Yeah, some people thought maybe Civil War. I don't think the writers even know.
Well, it's funny though. Like, apparently, I was reading something. I think King TDB posted it. There is an article out there that this was planned out. And what's his face? Who's the actor that's Rhodes? Fuck, I can't think of his name.
Don Cheadle.
Yeah, like he was part of it. And somebody showed a clip of when I think it was in, I don't remember if it was Infinity War or if it was Endgame, but where he's talking to Carol Danvers and is like, and where the hell have you been? Like kind of thing. And you're like, okay, that makes sense. That's in character with the Skrull. So it could at least go back to that. But I feel like in Civil War, obviously it was Rhodes. It would have had to have been after that.
Yeah.
Because the Rhodes that comes out, I think he had the leg, like
he got hurt. He got hurt in Civil War,
right?
So anytime after that,
yeah, and we didn't really see him that many times after that.
Yeah, so it was like I literally don't think they thought this this much through, because they could have told us in the finale how long it's been since he was kidnapped, and they just didn't, because I don't think they know, because they would have to then account for everything else, and it's very clear they didn't plan much at all when it came to the show. Like why didn't they just have Monica Rambeau? They couldn't get Monica Rambeau. Clearly, they don't care about superpowers or someone getting corrupted by the Skrull, because you literally gave it to Gaia, who 5 minutes ago was right with Gravik trying to destroy the world and kill all the humans.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the ploy there was that she was still kind of working with her father, but yeah, it's just a mess. Like, I don't understand it. I don't understand the purpose of going that direction. They say it costs so much to make, and I mean, yeah, there's some cool CGI, I guess, in that big fight. Like,
there's a couple, and then there's a couple where it's just like a lot, where it's like, what is happening?
Yeah,
like the whole time Amelia Clark looked like out of proportion and weird. It was just like, I don't know what this is.
But that can't be where like all the budget went. Like,
no, the one thing they definitely need to make sure they get, for if they ever resolve this actors and writer strike, is accountability in terms of where's the money going. Like that because the issue is, they are right in that the studios aren't being honest about the streaming platforms. Like, there's obviously been allegations that the reason why they're not transparent with the numbers is because they're trying to finesse their investors. which is probably true. We don't know, but it is pretty sus. But there needs to be full accounting of where, not just how much these shows are making and who's watching them, but where is the money going? What are they spending this money on? There is absolutely no way you spent over $200 million and you got this. This has cost more than Oppenheimer. this Infinity War cost 316 million. This cost 212 million.
No way.
Yes.
Like where? Like I'm sorry. There's just no way. Evan just messaged me and said he'll be here soon.
I bet we'll have Evan soon. Where I would love to know what they spent $212 million on.
I just hope it's Samuel L. Jackson's salary. Like I hope
like if they told me they spent it basically all on Amelia Clark, Samuel L. Jackson, and that CGI fight scene, I still wouldn't believe it.
Yeah. It is a little sad that it went down this way. There is so much possibility that they could have done with that, but like I don't know, man. I feel like we saw like Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. episodes that were all better than this.
Much better.
And they certainly didn't cost, like, I'm pretty sure the whole Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. series didn't cost $200 million.
I'm curious now. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. budget.
Yeah, I mean, it's...
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Estimated to be a budget around $6 to $9 million per episode.
Okay, I mean, they had like 100 plus episodes. So, all right, well,
they had about 9 how many seasons? 9 seasons?
Yeah, something like that. And there was like 20 episodes per season.
And they definitely cut back on the budget.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'll say though, like
7 seasons.
All right. So like even for however many episodes there are, that's like
it looked much better. It was
like a quarter of the,
it was such especially that first season, the quality of the action, the story, the writing is light years ahead of Secret Invasion.
Yeah. And I think we've talked about this before, like the big issue that we have with a lot of these Disney Plus shows is the fact that like it's all dialogue. Like that's all what we're dealing with. We're just dealing with, all right, you got a couple set pieces here. Most of it is green screened anyway. Like if you ever see how it's recorded, it's just this big blue room and like 2 actors in it, and literally nothing in it is real, and I like that's great in theory, but like you've got to do more than just talk. And it's just so much like talk, and it's fine if it's interesting, but like it wasn't
interesting. Like we got epic scenes where Talos tells Nick Fury that he's a useless piece of shit who has no accomplishments of his own. Everything about the great Nick Fury, apparently the Skrulls did it. He was just a loser sitting in an office doing nothing with his life at S.H.I.E.L.D. until the Skrull just happened to come down and bail him out. They did everyone he saved, everything. The Skrulls did it. They're all responsible for everything. It was all them. Fury was nothing without the Skrull. That's the kind of dialogue. Also, apparently, I also love how they slipped in at the end in like the final scene where Fury's talking to his wife. Apparently, the Kree has been talking to Fury this whole time.
Well, that makes a little bit of sense if you think about it, because you are working with Carol Danvers. She's out there doing her thing, and I'm pretty sure the Kree is who they're going to be fighting in this.
Yeah, so... but the problem with that is the whole motivation of your villain is that you broke your promise. You broke your promise. You don't have a home. We don't have a home. Right. And Fury still had no response to it. But apparently the Kree reached out to you and said, you know what? we're rethinking this whole scroll thing. You know, we're willing to figure something out with them. He doesn't mention this at all until the final episode.
Plays his cards close to the vest.
He doesn't, when he's trying to negotiate, when he's trying to stop, he doesn't think to bring this up at all. This doesn't pop up in any scenario except for the final episode where he's trying to find a liaison for the scroll, and he gives it to his wife, who, as far as I know, has no diplomatic experience. She's literally just a spy who just sat in their house and before being radicalized and working to destroy humanity. Yeah, perfect diplomat to negotiate peace with the Kree. What is the show?
Yeah. Well, I think we've already given it way more attention than we needed to. Evan should be here soon.
Well, when Evan pops up, we'll get to its Inspire stuff. But now the question is, what the hell is the MC going to do now? Because they barely set up the Marvels. Like the closest they did was like, well, hey, Nick Fury's in space now again.
That's all you really need to do, I guess.
Yeah, you just came full circle. I mean, we completely destroyed his character. Earth is literally a complete mess. The president has declared war on anyone that's not human, and a literal god who just previously wanted to destroy humanity is running things. So, but we're going to have a space adventure.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't know, man. It's unfortunate. Like, you know, this strike is happening at the worst time in a lot of ways too.
Yeah, I just heard across the Beyond the Spider-Verse is indefinitely delayed.
Yeah. I don't really think that's as scary as it sounds.
It's not.
I think it's just their way of saying, all right, we're delaying it and we don't know when we're going to get to start back up, you know?
Yeah. It's the same thing happened with Deadpool 3. Like, if you can't have any writers working on it and you can't have any union actors working on it, then you don't have much of a production. So
yeah, I think that this is like really unfortunate. Like, a lot of things are going to change because of this. A lot of shows are going to end because of this.
Yep.
Because like once everything is settled, there's like time has moved on, and there are people that had been allocated their time to other projects in the future, and those are going to come due, and it's going to be a matter of like shuffling everybody around. The last time they had a big strike like this, a lot of shows ended. One of my favorite shows was a show called Jericho.
Yep, love me some Jericho.
Yeah, they got impacted by it, and they had like the first part of the season done and ready and everything, and for season 2, and they had like a cliffhanger, right? So there was the last episode, it could have went one of two ways. They had two endings. One way would have ended the series, the other way would have set it up to continue after the strike was over. And they didn't know what they were going to run that night. They ended up running the series finale ending. So it sucks.
Look on the bright side, Jay. Once AI technology improves, probably another 5 years or so, you'll be able to create your own season of Jericho.
Yeah, I'm I don't know about that. They ended up doing like a graphic novel for like a season 3, but yeah.
Not the same.
Not the same.
I'll tell you, Jay. You know, once the technology gets there, you'll just be able to be like, oh, I want a third season of Jericho, and this is the guidelines, and just have the CPU just bang it out.
There's a lot of good people in that show. Skeet Ulrich, he was the star. Major Dad. I don't know if anybody ever watched Major Dad. That's an 80s show.
I haven't. You know, the funny thing is because of the whole streaming stuff, I haven't actually watched a lot of network TV in a while because I don't have YouTube TV anymore. So I basically only like watch anime and stuff that's on like Netflix and Max and stuff like that. So I've been missing out on network TV that I used to catch.
Yeah, I don't watch a ton of. I basically just watch like a few shows that my wife wants to watch, and we watch those. And I don't know. I don't really have a whole lot that I keep up with. I haven't even watched the new Twisted Metal yet.
Oh, that's out already. Oh,
yeah, like all 10 episodes.
Oh yeah, I've been watching. I was watching Baki, new season just dropped on Netflix, and then I was watching the new season of Harley Quinn. So
Oh, I do not watch Golden Girls.
Jay,
I mean, back in the day when I was a kid, yeah, sure. My grandmother loved that show. So
no, Jay's more of a Matlock kind of guy. he's not into it. So I saw on Twitter, Mr. Shockblast, that you pulled out your bags of money for Marvel Spider-Man 2 today.
Oh, yeah. I used my Best Buy card with 12 months interest-free financing. My brother didn't have a PS5 yet, so he was like, oh, this is it. This is the one I'm going to get. So I'm like, well, if you want, I'll just get it on my Best Buy card, and you can just pay me back before the 12 months is up. Make it easier. So,
W brother.
yeah. I ended up, I got like, so they went on sale like 10 minutes before they were supposed to, and I just happened to be online and see it. So I immediately ordered the controller and the plates from PS Direct before there was even a queue. Like I was browsing around the pages and everything, and I managed to get that order through. And then when they went live on Best Buy, I'm like, well, I have reward points, so I got $25 off on the controller, and then got the side plates there. So I'm just gonna let both orders go through, and worst case.
Well, PlayStation Direct caught me lacking because I waited until 10, and then as soon as I refreshed the site, I got put in a queue, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not doing that nonsense again. So someone in chat was like, oh, Walmart's got them, so I just popped over to Walmart. Immediately got the controller, no issue. I ended up canceling that and getting it from Amazon because I prefer Amazon anyway.
Yeah. So honestly, like I was done with 2 full orders before it was like 10:01, and that's insane when you consider what we went through for the collector's edition, which, by the way, is still in stock.
Yes, I checked that on stream today. Still in stock. The plates, apparently, Simnak tweeted that they don't expect restocks of the plates.
Yeah,
but apparently anyone can get the collector's edition still.
Yeah. So the plates are
yes, yes. Anime has new season of Baki is out. It's covering the season is about the man from the Jurassic period that they found frozen in ice with a T-Rex that he was beating up. So the whole season is about everyone trying to fight him because he's obscenely strong. It's really good. I love it.
I don't know what a Baki is, but I'm glad Sadot loves it.
Jay's not very cultured
because I'm not a hater, and I hope the things that he loves are enjoyable.
Jay's still very new to anime. Yeah. He doesn't know our ways.
Yeah,
the pickle art.
Very, very excited. I got my my Rodimus Prime Funko Pop this week.
Yeah, Jay collects toys and watches Columbo. He doesn't watch anime.
Yeah, what was I gonna say? Yeah, I just thought that was crazy. It's crazy though that the side plate, the plates, I think a lot of people thought that those would be the afterthought out of everything.
Yeah,
like, everybody wanted the controllers, but the plates sold out everywhere. Like,
I was surprised. I didn't want the plates at all because I don't want to deal with nonsense.
Yeah.
In PS5, trying to take apart the PS5. That's one reason I'm trying to return my SSD, because I got one that I have to install in the system, and I just want a USB one.
Well, you can't do that though on the PlayStation, right?
Install it inside?
No, the USB.
It has a USB.
Yeah, but like it won't do the PS5 games.
It should, shouldn't it? Doesn't have? I saw they have PS5 compatible ones.
Yeah, I could be wrong. I will admit that, but I was under the impression that the whole purpose of doing the one inside was that it had to be an SSD and it had to be like a certain one, and the portables and the USB ones weren't fast enough.
They weren't fast enough.
Like the data transfer from the USB drive isn't fast. I'll be honest with you, man. It's really easy to do. I know it's stupid and it's like nonsense and you shouldn't have to do it, but I was able to do it super easy. And I feel like that's like the line.
That's the line. That's the line.
That's the line.
If JayShockblast can do it,
yeah.
anyone can do it.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. So it's like a one-time thing. The only thing is it's crazy. When I did a video of me like installing it, and somebody watching the video actually heard that I didn't put one of the screws on right, and they heard it rattle when it started up. So I had to actually open it back up and put that screw in place. So it's crazy.
Jay's correct. Well, I think that's a pain in the ass.
Had a bundle to sell Christmas, Black Friday, so they didn't have to have many individuals. Makes sense. Yeah, I mean, it's great. I mean, my brother's getting his first PlayStation 5 finally, so he can play Spider-Man and probably never turn it on again.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, that's probably. That's
yeah, and that's not like a knock on PlayStation, but
I'm sure he'll
he
enjoy.
Doesn't play a lot of games lately, so
I'm sure he'll enjoy some of the other goodies that PS5 has to offer. Apparently it's not going to just be Square Enix games anymore because we just got the announcement from
dude. Oh my god, somebody like was going through Wario 64's QTs and like found me like saying something and just was so angry. And like I was just like,
for what? For what?
For insinuating that Sony is going to regret their pushing the buttons on that Activision deal, because like I mean, obviously they're the big loser of the whole thing. All those emails came out. Everybody saw all the Discovery stuff, and you know it did not look good for them. I mean, at all. And the Square Enix part is a big part of it. The fact that they're like this studio that they just basically had as an extension of themselves, and now it's not going to be like that anymore.
Nope. Now they're working with Xbox, so Xbox is going to know the joys of Final Fantasy. Finally,
I mean, there have been Final Fantasy games on it, but like it's just one of those things where they've really.
It's been a while.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't remember when the last one was. I remember playing Lightning on like the 13, I think it was. And I think 15 was on it too. The one with all the bros. I don't know.
The bros. I didn't I stopped playing Final Fantasy after 10 too.
Yeah.
And I didn't pick it up again until 16.
Yeah, so 15 was. So I mean there were Final Fantasies on there, but they had like all these like other Final Fantasies and the remakes and these things.
And Forspoken. Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
Can't forget Forspoken.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know, it's whatever, but
so yeah, surprised Sony didn't end up buying them.
Yeah, well, I think it's also crazy that the two biggest games on the two highest revenue games on PlayStation are going to be owned by Xbox, Minecraft and Call of Duty. It's kind of crazy when you think about it.
But I guess that's one of the reasons that Sony is investing so much other capital over the next 10 years in live service games.
Yeah, and honestly, it's long overdue. I mean, I don't know what happened. Well, I mean, I know what happened. We like everybody talks about, oh, why don't they do another Killzone and why don't they do more Resistance? But like, I feel like people forget like when those last ones came out, they weren't that good.
Live service games are. I mean, people should know by now, but live service games aren't exactly guaranteed home run.
Right, and I mean, like Killzone was okay. I remember getting the last one and Resistance 3 when I got my PS3. They're okay, but like I feel like people remember them wrong. like it's like distance makes the heart grow fonder kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then there's also SOCOM, which I think is definitely a game that they should reinvest in.
I think that could do well. I think whatever Bungie's the new Bungie game that's working on, odds are that's probably going to hit. I mean, Bungie. I mean, who knows with Bungie, but you know,
Yeah.
they have a good track. They have a really good track record. So Sony's definitely putting a lot of money behind it because you could definitely tell that they are kind of basically trying to hedge against Call of Duty.
Mm-hmm.
And just want to have something that they can just say is theirs. And it's like, we'll share it with PC, but
well,
Microsoft. No.
Why is it that every like Sony exclusive that comes to PC seems to have issues? Because even Ratchet and Clank this week apparently is having a rough.
Really? Because I was seeing the reviews and Digital Foundry said it was actually really good.
I just saw a lot of people complaining about it today, and maybe I just caught the wrong thread of people, but I thought I saw that it was struggling too.
From what I didn't dive deep into it. I just looked at. I usually just check like Digital Foundry, and kind of get that about because it's Twitter. You're going to have people. Some people are going to just be making stuff up. Some people are going to be like a small minority. So I'll check the rating, the overall user scores. I'll check Digital Foundry, see what they say from a technical standpoint. And from what I could tell, the Ratchet and Clank port was pretty well received.
Yeah, this is kind of along the lines of what I was hearing, something like that.
Only runs well.
PC version without an SSD are having an issue.
Okay,
so that makes sense. I mean,
it's an insanely powerful game, so yeah.
yeah.
Just very technically demanding.
And that's why I'm like just happy with console gaming. Like I put the disc in or buy the digital version, whatever it may be.
I don't buy. I have the disc version of this console. I've never bought a disc.
I mean, I buy them sometimes. Well, I mean, I buy them. Look behind me,
Yeah.
Like I'm a collector, but like I do like to buy them just to have them. But like I do definitely prefer digital because
it's just convenient.
It's just convenient. I just fiddle with stuff.
I just turn it on. I download. I press. As soon as the download is finished, I select it on the app and start playing. I don't have to install drivers or fiddle with the settings to get the right thing to write the right combination of. I don't have to check the recommended specs. I don't have to move things around to try to get it to work and tweak with the frame. I don't have to do any of that. I just turn it on and start playing.
Yeah, that's the best part. And I don't really feel like the graphics are not like that big of a difference.
It really like in this generation in particular, like there isn't a huge graphic leap at all. It's mainly about it seems to more so be about performance rather than graphic fidelity. Like there's some improvements for like you'll see on some PS5 exclusive games, but not dramatically so. And some PS5 games aren't even significantly ahead of like PS4. Some PS4 games, because certain PS4 games were really really well done in terms of their visuals. So there's only been like certain PS5 games that really were just like, oh, okay, Ratchet and Clank, Demon Souls. Those are like visually like, okay, this is the power of current gen. I can see that, but it's not like the jump from PS3 to PS4, like not even close.
Yeah.
To me, the biggest thing that left an impression on me from going from a PS4 to PS5 was literally just performance, like no load times. Like Avengers, when Avengers got the PS5 upgrade, it was a different game, completely different game.
Yeah,
it wasn't even close to the.
Yeah,
to
it
the
definitely.
same.
You could definitely like. I feel like that's definitely the stuff that matters, and we're noticing the most is just how smoothly you could transition and stuff like that.
Yeah, when I first turned on Miles Morales on the first day I got my PS5, first game I played was Miles Morales. When I went from the menu into the game, and like I was like, oh, I'm never going back. I'm never going back to PS4. I can't after this.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah. It's man, that was definitely a fun day.
That was such a especially having my first experience being Miles Morales on the PS5, because I got my 3D headphones. I wasn't streaming at the time. I wasn't a content creator until like the year after. So I had my 3D headphones. I had my had the music, had everything turned up. I was sitting there with my 43-inch TV and just playing Miles Morales, and then I'm swinging around, and then they have the scene after early in the game when Miles becomes the man of the city, and they play Kid Cudi's On My Own. Still get chills to this day. I'm looking forward to doing that again when I do my Miles Morales playthrough again. But that scene, that whole experience, the graphics, the smoothness, the music, everything was just incredible.
Yeah, I agree with this statement right here. That was definitely something that they did that was really cool too.
I'll be impressed by Xbox Quick Resume. I would be impressed if they got an actual first party game off the ground. That's what I'd be impressed by.
not totally unfair, but we are closing in on Starfield. So
we'll
see how that goes.
We'll see how that goes in 6 months after Bethesda drops about 10 patches to fix it.
Maybe
we'll check back. We'll check back then. But
I'm excited for it though. I got my Starfield controller back there.
If I had an Xbox, I would be excited for it. Not just because it's literally the only thing we're getting, but we'd be getting. But I love outer space. I love space things. I've been obsessed with like astronomy and the universe and stuff ever since I was a kid, and I saw Contact by Jodie Foster. Love that movie, classic. If you haven't seen it, based on a classic novel. But I love all the things space. Like when I saw No Man's Sky, I was like, oh, that looks amazing. And it was very disappointing when it launched as absolute dog order. But just the idea of a game where I can just explore the universe, and that's great. That's great to me. Starfield, I hope it works. It looked a little dry initially, but after that last showcase, it seems like they completely overhauled the combat. It's running a lot. It looks a lot smoother, and some of the based on some of the shots they showed, photo mode is definitely going to go crazy in that game. So I'm hoping for the best for Starfield, but
yeah, for sure.
I'm also expecting the worst.
Yeah. So just a heads up, we are just waiting for Evan to pop in. He got tied up with something at school. Life happens, is what it is. He's obviously on the West Coast, so it's still pretty early in the day for him. So we're just kicking it until he's here. I anticipate it should be any time now. Hopefully, I keep like clicking over to my DMs and making sure I'm not missing anything, and looking down to see if he popped in. And he'll be here soon.
I can see that he hasn't popped in, so you can focus on your DMs, Boomer.
All right.
Yeah. One at a time. But yeah, when we get here, when he gets here, I have some questions, and I have a game too. We're bringing back the games.
Oh boy.
We got a game. We got a Spider-Man themed game for him.
We're gonna definitely have some fun with Evan when he gets here, because he's a great personality. He does really great work. Obviously, Spider-Man is such a popular character, and everybody loves Spider-Man, and he's really done a good job of keeping that hype going. So I'm definitely feeling like this is going to be a great conversation. It's really cool when when you're such a fan of something and something so big happens around it. Spider-Man, this game is just it's massive. It's going to be such a huge deal. And I think we saw that today, where like everybody's clamoring to buy their controllers and their silly little plates and all the PlayStation bundles sold out and all that stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, yeah. It was it's still crazy to me that I can just have 700 people sitting in a live stream just watching me talk about and try to buy a controller for
Yeah.
for this game.
Yeah, I didn't even think to do that, but
that's how hype this is. We all just can't wait to actually play the game because I think it's definitely like, obviously there's always going to be the doubters. I see it all the time. People saying, I actually got a comment the other day. Someone said that Spider-Man 2 looks like a downgrade from Spider-Man PS4, and I'm just like, are you like, what? Like at this point, like, what are you looking at?
Yeah, everybody just has to have like this hot take. I don't understand it, man. It looks. I honestly don't want to see anything else. I just want it to come out. I want to experience it all. I'm pretty hyped up about it. It's gonna come out just after New York Comic Con, and I was thinking about skipping New York Comic Con this year, but after seeing everything they did at San Diego Comic Con, considering the Marvel offices are based in New York, and
thinking a little Wolverine.
I don't know. I just think I might need to at least get down there for the first day. You know what I mean?
Sure. Speaking of, Gamescom is coming up end of August, August 23rd through the 27th, and I know there's going to be some stuff getting shown off. A lot of games getting shown off, new gameplay, new reveals, new trailers. We could see some Spider-Man 2 there.
Yeah. I've been getting emails like, "Oh, we're going to be at Gamescom and blah 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 blah." I'm like, I'm not going to be in Germany, bro. Sorry.
I've never.
I wish.
It's definitely going to be.
You want to put me on
experience.
A flight? No problem.
It's definitely going to be digital. But the only reason I remember Gamescom was because I'm a creator I'm in the creator program for First Descendants.
Oh yeah.
And they announced that they're going to have a brand new trailer on opening night of Gamescom. So I was like, oh yeah, that's right, that is a thing. So I'm looking forward to seeing more of that game. I'm definitely looking forward to playing that, and I believe if Spider-Man 2 pops up there, it's probably going to be the deluxe edition showcase that they said they were working on, because they said there's something. It was one of the things they're working on for the summer, and I think they're going to be the Game Informer cover for September. So
everyone was so mad when it was Sonic.
I don't know why people thought it was like, because I made a video that day and it was like, yo, don't get your hopes up. It's highly unlikely that it's going to be August, because I looked at their previous cover reveals, not just the time, not just the timing, but also how close those games were to the release when they were revealed. And I realized, oh wait, it doesn't actually make sense for it to be the cover game for August, because the game doesn't come out until October.
Right. And they're probably going to give them a preview, you know?
Yeah. So I'm like, okay, so it makes sense that the cover reveal for August would be a game that either comes out in August or comes out in September, like a Starfield or Mortal Kombat, or in this case, the Sonic game. So I think most likely it will be September. So if they have more marketing planned for the summer, August will be that time. And Gamescom is still summer. It's a big platform for them to show off. The last time, they got some stuff before Comic-Con that was at another Jeff Keighley event, Summer Game Fest. So to me, odds are during that week we're going to see some Spider-Man. Now, not just from Gamescom, but also the 20th, between the 20th and the 27th. That's the window where Game Informer announces their new cover reveals. They do a live stream where they announce it on Twitch. Like previously, they just did an announcement on the 20th. Last time for Sonic, I think they did it on, because of Comic-Con, maybe they did it on, I think it was the 27th or 26th.
I met one of Game Informer's main writers when I was in San Antonio for the Royal Rumble.
Did you
Just
get
on the side?
Did you get their number?
We followed each other on the Twitter.
On the Twitter.
On the Twitter.
On the X?
On the X.
On the X.
I had to think about that for a second. That's stupid. I mean, I don't care.
Have you been Xing each other? Maybe we can get
pause.
Maybe you can get them on the pod. Send them an X.
I haven't really talked to him since then, but is what it is. Those events are weird, and I think that's one of the reasons why I always really appreciate like Caboose and Uncaged and Unruly, like those guys, because like you meet people at these things, and they're like the only people that you can talk to, and and then like you leave, and it's like, oh, cool, we'll keep up, and then like
they don't keep up.
Like sometimes it doesn't, and that's nothing against this guy. Like he has, like we hung out a little bit and watched the show together, and it's like, but whatever,
Sounds like a skill issue.
Yeah, I don't expect him to be my best friend out of it, but it's is what it is.
My enemies call me Namor.
That came out of nowhere. So, what have you been playing this week?
I've been the same thing I've been playing. So when we haven't talked about this yet, but we were arguing about this in the DMs. Gotham Knights.
I'm going to be honest with you. I had to take a step back because I felt like I was felt like you were being a little disrespectful in the DMs.
You thought I didn't take anything personal. I was like, oh, Jay's a big boy. He could handle it because I remember you complained about people taking things too far and not understanding that you're not taking it seriously. So I'm like, oh, Jay's an adult. He's probably not crying about this.
I wasn't crying about it. I was just I was like I was just kind of like, what the fuck, man? Like I'm like just trying to tell you what I was told.
Yeah.
And it has been like
so I think it'd be easy to vocalize it because maybe some stuff was lost in the X.
It's fine.
In the X. But my whole thing was like, I understand that you have your source. My thing was, from my perspective, I was given no real reason to take what you were saying at face value because of the sequence of events. It's like okay, I find out that people are saying, oh, looks like there's going to be DLC, and I checked SteamDB and dig through the files and look at it compared to the previous timelines and what they were doing before for the last Heroic Assault. I'm like, this actually looks like something. Looks like actual DLC. And then you tell me nope. And I'm just like, well, that obviously there's something because I literally could see it. And then you send me a random Reddit comment from someone who says that they've just been updating it for months, which is not actually true because I checked the database myself. They haven't updated that database at all since they dropped the last Heroic Assault DLC, and they only started 15 days ago, and they've actually just updated it to gold status. So whatever they're pushing is about to ship. And my whole thing was like, you also said before they dropped that last Heroic Assault that this was the last update. So to me, from my perspective and based on what you showed me, I'm like, that doesn't sound like a definitive, whoever your source is, doesn't sound like someone who's definitively in the know. It sounds very plausible that they are just hearing stuff from people who may or not be on the project and aren't being filled in on everything, because I'm like, if everything we were told was true, then we wouldn't have gotten that last DLC. So my perspective is, okay, maybe it's probably not, a playable Batman expansion, but it looks clearly like it's going to be DLC.
So the second Heroic Assault, I got keyed in on that like just before it happened, and I did say something was going to happen.
But before that, I was the only one saying something was going to happen because everyone was saying, "Oh no, it's done. This is the last DLC. That last DLC was the last one. It's never happened." And I'm like, "Yeah, I don't know about that. I think there's more." And everyone was like, "No, Sadot, this is done. They're pretty done." I asked, blah blah blah, it's done. There's not. And then they drop a screenshot, and it's like, well,
no, that wasn't. I was told that the last DLC was it. And it makes sense when you consider like you can get the game for like $5 now, you know, like there's no point in investing in it. They're apparently working on 2 different games right now. So from what I understand, that is still true. And I can't really go any further here, but I understand what that Steam database update could be. And it makes sense if it's gold because it's the 28th of July.
So it's going to be some kind of anniversary DLC.
No,
basically,
no. I'm not. I'm certainly never going to put my person in a bad position. So
regardless, they wouldn't be doing all this if they weren't going to drop something. So obviously, keep your expectations in check, because if you're expecting 10 new characters, that it's not going to be that, but it's clearly going to be something, and we'll just have to see what it is.
Ooh.
Looks like our guest of honor is here, but I'm going to wait for them to set up their mic and camera.
Yeah.
What happened with the Unalive Squad game? Got to make sure we're YouTube compliant. Yeah. Unalive Squad, Unalive the Justice League, as far as I know, is still delayed until 2024.
There he is.
But I'll put 2024 in quotations because we'll see. All right. Now, the moment you've all been waiting for, we have our special guest in the building. You may know him from such things as Twitter and his Easter egg in Spider-Man PS4, as well as his Spider-Man 101 videos. He's one of the biggest content creators for Marvel Spider-Man 2, Evan Filarca.
What is up, Spidey Squad? What is going on? And to clarify, I always say it's our Easter egg, because I feel like that's a community thing. And without you guys, Jay, Sadot, all the other amazing content creators out there who cover the game, and just any fan of Spider-Man out there, that's the entire reason why the Spidey Squads exist, but also why the game included the Easter egg in the first place, just as a way to give back to the fans who love the characters so as much as we do, and as much as Insomniac clearly does. And that's always a phenomenal thing to see. So thank you, Insomniac, again, for always being so kind to the fans. But thank you guys for having me. I truly appreciate it.
Yeah,
sorry I'm so fashionably or unfashionably late. I did not expect it to be this late, but college life.
Typical Peter Parker, man.
You got to deal, Peter Parker
is always late.
We really appreciate, I know it sounds like you've had a hectic day, so we appreciate you stopping by. It's great to finally chat with you. And before we do anything, say something nice about Marvel's Avengers.
You're really doing this to me, huh? Was this like the Doom Killer HD hot seat section? Oh man,
we're coming in hot, right off the bat.
Hot. You know what? And this isn't an actual joke. This is serious. Sandra Saad, Kamala Khan, she's the best. And I don't think he's there anymore, sadly, but he's the man. Andy Wong.
I thought you were going to say Brian Wagner.
Oh my God.
Man, we are really
Holy. You trying to get demonetized?
Oh, we don't have monetization on this channel, so we're good.
Man,
Andy's at Capcom now, but yeah, Andy was amazing.
Sad. Andy Wong was amazing. I think I told this to Doomkill actually, or someone. I feel like, but when Andy was working on Avengers before it came out, I was actually attending City College of San Francisco, and I was working on a paper for one of my classes for communications, because that's my major. And it asked us to interview someone in the industry, like entertainment industry, about social media and marketing and what their role is, or whatever, what pertains to your ideal future job. And Andy not only is super nearby where I am in San Francisco, like because Crystal Dynamics is literally in San Francisco, Redwood City. It's super close by to San Francisco. And I asked, like, I'm not trying to get any, because this was before Avengers came out. So I'm like, I'm not trying to get any inside details. Like, is Spider-Man the game, which he was in Avengers, but is there a chance I could talk to you just about what you do? And he said, absolutely. Where do you want to meet for lunch? I'm like, that's insanely awesome. And not only did I get to talk to him for like a whole afternoon, and he got to sign my Avengers comics for the game when they were releasing with those, which were sweet. But he was just, again, super passionate about the game, the fans, and his role at the time for when he was working at Square Enix and Crystal Dynamics. So he's a real one. He's the best.
Agreed.
Definitely shout out to Andy. I was definitely glad to see him get the Capcom gig because he looked so much happier when he was working on Street Fighter. He was well rested. He wasn't dealing with people saying dead game in the chat.
He's got that glow.
Yeah, you could definitely tell.
Oh my god,
you could definitely tell he needed a change of scenery.
He's got that developer shine on him.
Absolutely. So Evan, I got a question for you. Who's Venom?
Screwball. Come on.
Give me a serious answer. What are we doing? We're putting you on the spot.
Oh man. Listen, I know a lot of the Eddie Brock fans are dealing with copium right now. I know they're hurting. I know they're hurting bad, but it's not Eddie. I'm sorry to say it's not Eddie. And I don't think it is Peter either anymore, because I know that I even was one of the people like I wanted to be Peter because I love that Ultimate Spider-Man storyline where he slightly becomes Venom at some point. And that could happen. That could happen where he Venoms out a little bit.
It will happen, but continue.
I think for the narrative that they're going with, and if we're taking their statements at face value, I still think, because now the trailer has thrown me for a loop with the whole heal the world thing and Harry saying that, and that's clearly who's going to be Venom, but they can't do that and not have another twist in the background, right? So now I'm wondering if Harry actually is Venom, what's the twist going to be? And if it's not Harry, then I still think that one of my previous theories that I did a video on could be true, is that Norman is Venom and Harry is going to be the Green Goblin, and that's the switch. So we're all thinking right now, or at least the majority of people who've been waiting for this game for 5 years since 2018, is that Harry is going to die as Venom. Norman's going to see this happen on the sidelines, and that is going to make him go crazy and turn himself into the Green Goblin, because we all see in his penthouse all the Green Goblin stuff lying around. We see the pumpkin bombs. We see the Goblin helmet. We see the gliding tech. We see like the spiders that he's working on that he could probably like inject himself with like some Goblin made serum that he could get from the spiders or something. So all that's hinting towards Norman's the Goblin and Harry is Venom. But I think the actual twist is the opposite. Norman might be Venom somehow, and Harry could be the Green Goblin. Harry doesn't die. Norman dies. That sends Harry off the deep end. He's still dying. He's kind of like degrading, because in the beginning of the story trailer in Coney Island, he's fine. He's not walking around with a cane or sick. He's like, hey, I'm back. I'm Harry. Nice to meet you. I got out of the Nickelodeon GAC and the symbiote, so I'm not dealing with any of that now. I'm all good. I'm well rested, and I'm ready to have fun. And then we see in the other trailer, later on, like he's walking with a cane. He's throwing glasses at the wall. You're a fraud, Spider-Man style, like that. Dane DeHaan style, which is amazing. But now it's like, what's the twist? Because now in the other games, it was like Doc Ock was the main villain, and we never knew that. We, the majority of people are like, oh, is Mr. Negative's the main villain, but clearly who do our research know was someone else is the head of the Sinister Six, who was the real main villain. And then it was Doc Ock, which we didn't know until we actually played the game. Now with Miles, we saw the Tinkerer. We just didn't know who the Tinkerer was until we played the game. And it was Miles' best friend, who they revealed at the very start-ish of the story. And now it's like everything's set up because it's been building up to this point for 5 years now. So all the pieces are there. They're teasing clearly that Harry is going to be Venom, but I'm still wondering, like, what's their true, twist that they're going to include? What's their shock and awe moment that they're going to include near the final act of the game? Like, whoa, what? Miles is Venom. Whoa, Peter's Venom. Like, I don't know. So
I'm rooting for Mary Jane as Venom.
Oh my God, Jay. Why would you do this?
So one of the things that I've noticed though is that like if you look at the trailers leading up, and Sadot's having some technical difficulty with his camera, so
we'll make up for it.
Yeah, if you look at like the trailers that came out before the first game, like there was stuff that was happening there that changed in the game. So it is possible that the trailers they're showing us aren't necessarily a full representation of what we're going to actually play once the game comes out. How do you feel about that? Is that going to throw you through even more of a loop?
Yes, like I will not be satisfied with what's going on with any of these trailers, any of these gameplay demos until we actually play the game for ourselves on October 20th. So I'm just like holding out all curiosity and skepticism and questionability about who is Venom, what's the story going to be about, who's dying, because I know someone's getting capped by the end of this game, and just what will happen by that point in the narrative when we actually play it. And yeah, like all the scenes in the story trailer, I feel like all those are accurate. Like I don't think, they swapped out Harry with Gwen Stacy or something, like, and it's Black Cat who's actually Venom or something. Like that's a crazy twist. I don't think any of the things in the story trailer are too misleading. I think the only thing that could be is is two things actually, but I feel like the majority of the story trailer is accurate to what's going to happen in the game. The only two things I could see that could be like a, psych out is we're going to heal the world line from Venom, not Harry, because that scene seems totally fine from Harry, but the Venom line sounds like it might be spliced together. Like we're going to heal the world. The heal part sounds like it's actually taken from some other part of the dialogue.
Gotcha.
That's one thing. The other thing is who's looking out in the city. We're obviously led to believe it's Harry because that's where we hear the narration of Venom saying we're going to heal the world. That could honestly be Peter. I know they're wearing the same gray T-shirt that they show Harry in where he's talking to Norman and he throws the glass against the wall. But the hair almost looks like Peter's hair a bit from that angle if you stop and look at it for a second. And again, like what we said, the twist now is too obvious because we're all expecting now Harry's going to be Venom. But the only other person that knows about that line of how we're going to heal the world is Peter. So Norman could too, but I feel like now maybe either Harry or Norman could be Venom. I want Peter to Venom out a bit, but I don't know if he's going to be the Venom of the game.
Surprisingly, Evan is on the right track. Am I?
Surprisingly,
boy. I thought you were going to be one of the Harry is Venom truthers, but
I want it to be. But now I'm like hesitant because I don't know who the real end all be all twist is going to be, and of course, like the theories going around, like. It's still Eddie. It's still Eddie. Don't wait. Don't. It's like you gotta let go, man. But now it's like now I'm wondering, it's too obvious. Because if it is Harry, then what's the big twist?
There's no. I think that's why I revised my theory a bit. I was right. I still believe Norman is the final Venom, but I revised my theory a little bit because I still think Peter's going to Venom out a bit. But I think Norman is ultimately going to be the final Venom. I think Peter's change is going to be temporary and then is eventually going to be Norman. But I think Harry is going to be the anti-Venom. That's why I think the Heal the World line might have been him. Because when I thought of Heal the World, I'm like, people thought it might have been a subversion of him just, Venoming out. But I'm thinking, no, if it is literally Venom saying heal the world, and that would make sense coming from the anti-Venom because healing is like its thing. And the reason, like I speculated we could see anti-Venom when they first said Eddie Brock wasn't Venom. Because I'm like, well, it'd be weird if you had a Venom storyline with no Eddie at all. So maybe they bring him in as anti-Venom. But then when I saw when I heard the heal
Mr.
the world
Negative.
and Mr. Negative, I'm like, well, wait a minute. they just gave us all the ingredients. They got the heal the world thing, which they said twice, and
Harry's dying.
Harry's dying.
And in the
sick.
comics, Eddie has cancer, and that's how he kind of gets to that.
So
state.
he's literally in the Eddie Brock situation. They bring back, they're bringing back Mr. Negative. So I'm like, this feels like an anti-Venom setup. That feels like the twist.
Right. It's crazy because now, how deep in the comic rabbit hole is Insomniac going to go? Because it's like they're already doing something totally different with the not making Eddie Venom. Even though the Ultimate Show and the cartoon did do Harry as Venom, but and they're like, well, we're going to do something completely different, not from the shows, comics, or films. So it's like, okay, but Harry was clearly, it was both actually. He was Venom and anti-Venom in the Ultimate Spider-Man show, from what I remember. So who knows what they'll do with that part? But now also, we know that Doc Ock could still come back and maybe do some Superior Spider-Man stuff as a post-credit scene at the third game. Because even in the prequel comic, the Spider-Geddon, I think it was, tie-in comic, where we see Insomniac Spider-Man and Superior Spider-Man team up, and then he leaves a little spider bot in the universe of Insomniac's world. I'm sure that's not canon, but who knows if they do like Potato State Doc Ock, and then he sees Peter sees him in the raft, and he's just totally superiored out, and then they swap brains as a final crazy twist. Who knows? So that's just their way of Insomniac doing whatever they want from the comics, their own thing. But also at the same time, I'm all here for it because this is my favorite version of the Spider-Man character in any universe, in any form of media, not just comics, films, TV shows, etc. Just in general, this is it for me. And I love the liberty of doing it so fresh and creatively, but not being feel like, oh, we have to follow this storyline 1-to-1, otherwise they're going to be pissed. Like, do whatever you want. You could do anti-Venom. You could do full-on normal Venom. You could do
Genki Venom.
Okay, not that. Okay. I have boundaries. No Genki Venom and no MJ Venom.
How about Aunt May Zombie Venom?
Oh my gosh!
They are.
You haven't heard that one yet.
That's the next spin-off game.
Or Uncle Ben. They got.
Oh my god!
You mentioned comic deep cuts. I mean, Insomniac did drop a Speed Demon, Hydro Man, and Big Wheel Easter egg in the same trailer.
Full on Big Wheel, yeah.
So
they aren't afraid. They aren't afraid to just throw them all out there. Same with I feel like there's some like Hypno Hustler Easter egg somewhere out there, I would hope. But yeah, like all the crazy like deep cut Spider-Man villains, and even teased in like the comic book tie-ins.
We
even see the Speed Demon. The Speed Demon is literally a character in the Spider-Man Velocity tie-in comic, which is great. The Foreigner's cool. I feel like the Rose might have been teased. I feel like Jean DeWolf might also be teased. I would love to see Jean DeWolf, but all these cool characters they could throw in there. And you know me, though. I'm hoping for the return of Black Cat and hopefully the introduction of Gwen Stacy, this version of Gwen Stacy. If she's either going to Brooklyn Visions with Miles or like a lab assistant for Peter with the teaching job that he has.
Yeah. I thought they were going to they were basically going to have her enroll basically at Empire State with Miles, and they're going to introduce her father as like the replacement for Yuri on the police force. Like helping Peter hunt Yuri and bring her to justice.
Right.
That's how I thought they would, if they were going to go that route. I thought that's how they would bring in Gwen Stacy. Which makes the most sense to me.
Right.
All right. So San Diego Comic-Con. You're just there.
You were there.
Mm-hmm.
Did you run?
I was watching.
Nice.
Did you run into Caboose at all?
Yes. Several times, but we also hung out like an hour and a half, 2 hours plus afterwards, just like waiting for Ubers, but also just geeking out about the game. He's like, "Oh, what do you think is going to happen?" Like, "Oh, I don't know." So, and it's not my first time I met him. Like we met previously all the way back at E3 2018. That was my first time seeing him. But yeah, seeing him at Comic-Con was fun. It was his first Comic-Con at San Diego in general.
Yeah.
This is my third, but it was awesome just to be there for the game, which is the main reason I was there. And
you saw the story because you saw the story trailer in person.
Oh yeah, I saw that in person. I got Yuri and Najee to sign awesome stuff, which, by the way, I'm going to do a giveaway for this.
Nice.
Which is signed by Najee, which is awesome. And he's super sick and awesome and kind and the best.
Absolutely.
And
I saw you. I saw you ask Bill Roseman a question.
I was at the interview because I was like, man, this is cool. They're going to interview Brian and Bill talking about the game, and I was in the front row of the Marvel booth. They were like, oh man, I can't wait to see what they're going to talk about. And then this guy with this Marvel, staff shirt and this microphone, he like walks up to me and says, would you want to ask them an interview by any chance, or ask them a question by any chance? I'm like, okay. Like, it's not like the whole reason I'm there in the first place, but yes. And I was just jumped at the chance. And of course I couldn't ask, like, is Venom playable? Tell me right now if he's playable. But I wanted to get more insight from them. So I thought, like,
they
what does Venom mean?
I mean, they kind of spoiled that later.
They're spoiling it.
Seth MacFarlane and Brittany
everywhere. They're spoiling it not only from Brittany, not only from Todd, but also in the PlayStation blog itself, where they talked about the story trailer. They're like, Venom's moves and powers is very different from Peter's and Miles's. I'm like, how so? Like, you mean like playing as him different? Like, oh, what do you mean? So I said on Twitter, I reiterated in my videos, I'm going to say again here, I will eat my goddamn shoe if Venom is not playable at this point. I got the pre-order, the collection edition pre-ordered, got the Mondo poster with Venom on it, signed by the entire cast, and Yuri and Najee directly, 2 separate posters signed by them. Venom's score is in the main theme of the game, so that's a huge thing already. And he's all over the promotional material for the game. He's on the PS5. He's on the concept art. Like, that was the big poster at San Diego Comic-Con too. That concept art where they're fighting in the streets. No, it's been too long since we've had Venom playable. He's been playable in like other smaller scale games like Midnight Suns, which is awesome, and Ultimate Alliance, which is fun. I'm talking about like a standalone Spider-Man game experience where you can play as Venom and Spider-Man in the same game in an open world. Since Ultimate Spider-Man, 18 years, 2023 minus 2005. Is that 18 years? Too long is the answer to that. So we need them playable again.
I think it's definitely going to be like in the context of a story mission, like a set piece kind of thing. I don't think it's going to be like a situation where you're free roaming around the map as Venom. But
that would be too much.
Yeah, I do. But I do think, like, literally that scene from the trailer where Venom is attacking the Kraven helicopter vehicles looks like the start of a fight where you're playing from Venom's perspective.
That totally reminds me of like the Sable chase in the Ultimate Spider-Man, where you're just like trying to get her, crewmates, her wild pack, and just try and hunt them down and take down choppers and cars. So it's like, if you do this even if it's just one section of playing as Venom, fine by me. That's all that matters.
Another reason why it's Peter.
Now, were you already going to San Diego Comic-Con, or did you see they were going to be there and you just made it happen?
Right when they said that they were going, I wanted to go. And I just tried to do everything I could to go. The only reason why I've been to the other Comic-Cons in the past was because of Marvel games. Is the only reason that I wanted to go, but the only reason why I was going in the first place is because in previous years they invited me, but then this year I had to go under the wire, like last minute, because I'm busy with college, doing the channel, working on my assignments, trying to do a full-time job. And then they announced literally too late in the game. I think they should have announced this a month or so earlier or whatever, but I get it. Suspense, surprise, fine. Okay. But like right when they said, we're going to be there. And then like a few days later, then they said, oh, we're going to be there with a Hall H panel. Like, oh, now I have to go. And then when they detailed what it was about, it's about Venom. It's about the symbiote. It's about the black suit. Tony Todd's going to be there. Laura Bailey, Yuri, and Najee are all there with the cast and crew of the whole game. Like, now I needed to go. So I did whatever I could to get there, and it was totally worth it.
Now, did you make that drive, or did you
Bully Lowenthal dance? The Bully Lowenthal dance. Oh God, Yuri is my Spider-Man. So him doing that was the best thing I've ever seen in my life.
For me, it was Tony just doing the voice at the panel.
people flipped. And they're like, whoa, like he did it, and it was full on, like no voice modulator
at all.
No, no prep, because he just asked him to do it and he did it like
on the spot. Just
like
I've been trying to imitate it ever since, and I keep hurting my voice.
Did you drive or did you fly?
Fly.
I've done the drive from San Francisco to LA. And I know San Diego's what, like 2 hours?
Yeah.
Stuff. Yeah. We drove US 1 the whole way down. I don't know if you've ever done that, but it's a sight.
I thought you usually fly private, Jay, when you go to your cons.
I wish.
Now they've released the full panel now, but of course some of us, myself included, were able to watch the entire thing because cell phones. But before that, was there any part that people watching at home didn't see? Like, they eventually showed the interview with Bill, they showed the full H panel. Was there something else where they did some chatting that they didn't see, that people didn't see in any of the broadcasts?
I was actually shocked because everything that they revealed so far online is what was from the panel. Because they literally, I was shocked for a couple reasons. Because first off, when they started the panel, it's just like this guy came out and said, "Okay, guys, we're about to start. No recording, no filming, no photos. You can record when the lights are on, but when they show like the trailer, when they show stuff that's like the lights are off and it's dark, then don't record. Otherwise, you're gonna get in trouble." And they just said that, and then right when he left, they just popped up the trailer for the story trailer, and I thought, oh, they're gonna show the gameplay demo again. That's fun. Nope, it was just full on right out before anyone walked out on stage, just new trailer, and it was like, whoa. And then everyone all at once came out, and then they ended it with the PS5 bundle. But I find that a bit surprising because in comparison to 2018, they showed the entire opening cutscene of Spider-Man PS4 only to Comic-Con, and I was there, and it was amazing and so cool, but they didn't do anything like that this year. Even like in 2018, they had like the Hot Toys, the vinyl soundtrack, the Funko Pops revealed, all the merch, story trailer, suits. And it was like this year, it was just two things. And it was cool. And hearing everyone in person talk about the game and the details was awesome. But not a lot of exclusive behind the scenes stuff other than the concept art images, which most people took photos of Venom and Mary Jane and Aunt May's house. But that was it. There wasn't like a new exclusive video or gameplay showcase or trailer or cutscene. It was just the trailer for the story and the PS5 bundle, and that was it. And it was awesome, but I was like, could have done a little bit more. And then what I find weird now is that they just announced the black suit Hot Toy, which is all sweet, and I need that so badly. I've never owned a Hot Toy. This will be my first one once I get money to buy it. But they didn't show that during the panel, where they could have easily done that. Like, oh, we have the collector's edition statue for Venom and Peter and Miles, which looked amazing. But it's like, oh, and what's this? Him behind a little veil of cloth? Hot Toy, Funko Pop, new statue. Like, they could have done that, but they didn't. So I was like, they could have done a little bit more with the merch, but I guess the statue and the PS5 bundle was more than enough.
Let me tell you, once you start with the Hot Toys, you never go back.
I bet. That was me with Funkos.
Jay's house is overrun.
I think I have at least 120 of them.
I've seen photos of your house online, Jay. It's like nerd paradise. Like, oh my god,
he had to buy the house because of all his toys.
I mean, a new house to put it in.
Pretty true. I did pre-order I told myself I don't need any more Spider-Man because like
I'll take it.
I already have like 6, I think.
Right.
I have the 2020 Miles. I have the Spider-Man PS4. I have 2099. I have Scarlet Spider. I have the Iron Spider from Infinity War, and I have one other one, I think. But like that, the mask, the Venom mask coming off, and like the Peter mask underneath, like that head alone just sold me, and I had to get it. So that went up for pre-order today.
Yeah,
they do have payment programs, just so you know.
There you go.
I don't have that WB Montreal money. So
this is a running.
Are they even making any money after Gotham Knights though? That's the question.
This is a running gag. This is a running gag. So, but yeah, like I agree though. You know, it's also annoying is that like I'm on the wait list for the Velocity suit one that they literally announced probably at that same 2018 show, and it still hasn't come out yet. I remember
they had them on display. They had all of them. They had the Funko Pop, the Hot Toys with the Advanced Suit, Spider-Punk, Scarlet, Velocity, and I feel like there was one more. But it was all there on display at 2018. It was amazing. But of course, now with the strike, I guess Sideshow was supposed to be at this year's Comic-Con, and then they pulled out at last minute. So
they've been doing that a lot lately because I go to New York Comic-Con a lot. And they used to be at New York Comic-Con every year, but they haven't been since COVID. Like I've been the last 3 and they haven't been there.
It's crazy.
So, but anyway, I know Sadot had another
actually
he had a whole game plan.
Yeah, I actually literally have a game for just for you, Evan.
Oh boy.
It is of course Spider-Man themed.
Of course.
And you may be familiar with this game. It's called Pick One. And the way the game works is I'm going to give you some multiple choice and you have to pick one. And the ones that you don't pick are gone forever and erased from the timeline.
All right.
And the theme will be Spider-Man. Are you ready, Mr. Filarca?
I'll do my best.
All right, we're gonna start you off with an easy one. Just to get you warmed up. Okay, so you can only pick one. The rest are gone forever. Mary Jane Watson, Felicia Hardy, Gwen Stacy, Aunt May.
And pick one to keep?
You can keep one. The rest are gone, erased from the timeline.
You already know me. Best girl's right there in the back. Felicia Hardy.
Okay.
Till the end of time. Sorry, MJ fans. I'm just saying the truth. That's all I have to say. But yes, Felicia for sure.
Base answer. I respect it. Okay. All right. Next one. We got Ben Reilly, Peter Parker, Miles Morales.
Just 3? Okay. Peter. Keep Peter.
Racist.
Damn.
You have to know that if you don't pick
Listen, without Peter, there's no Miles. So come on. The cycle starts again. Think of the long game.
Okay. We'll let you slide on that one. All right. Last one. You can only keep one. All right. The Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies, the Andrew, the Tom Holland, the 90s cartoon.
Oh, snap. Well, it's between the 90s cartoon and Tobey's. If you said Tanas, this would be over. Man. I think because without the 90s cartoon, we wouldn't have Spider-Man 3 because they literally just did that plot line from Spider-Man 3 into the 90s, or vice versa, 90s cartoon to Spider-Man 3. But my first introduction to Spider-Man was the first Tobey movie. So again, you know what? Long game. I'm going to do long game 90s cartoon. Keep that because without that, we wouldn't get all the other ones. So
interesting.
And that show's still fantastic. So Christopher Daniel Barnes, the best.
All right. Bonus one. Venom, Doc Ock, Shocker, Kingpin.
You know what's funny? I'm a big Shocker fan. I know not a lot of people are, but I love Shocker. But come on, Venom. Sorry. He's my favorite of all time Spider-Man villain. I was super let down by the films, but Venom's my favorite for a reason.
Nice. All right. Evan did pretty well. I definitely appreciate that Evan made the right choice and picked Felicia. Black Cat forever.
Okay, good. I was like, there's wrong answers when you said he did pretty well. Like,
there's always wrong answers.
There's always wrong answers.
Oh man.
And
has anyone failed before?
Oh, Jay fails all the time.
I think he just picks the opposite just to like, you know. So obviously we had all the peripherals go on sale today. What'd you cop? What'd you get? Controller?
Oh, for the PS5, I see. Oh,
I said
man.
peripherals. I know it's an old man word.
Just say accessories, Jay.
Okay, accessories.
So I got the controller, ordered that. Here's the thing, though. All the PS5 faceplates sold out everywhere, which is super annoying. I don't know if you guys were able to get them, but
twice.
I didn't want the plates. I just wanted the controller.
I want both. So I checked online everywhere. GameStop, Best Buy, Amazon, PS Direct, all gone in a matter of seconds, even before 7 a.m. PST, which is insane. So faceplates are gone. Controller's still up everywhere. So I got the controller easy, but no faceplates. So what I did as a backup is I pre-ordered the controller at GameStop, and I also pre-ordered the bundle, the whole PlayStation 5 bundle at GameStop. So my plan is, if I can find the faceplates by themselves, I'll cancel the pre-order for the console bundle and just get the faceplates and the controller. But if the faceplates are never restocked, because Insomniac has somehow said that they're not going to restock them, which I think is nuts, then I will cancel the pre-order for the controller, and then I'll just buy the whole bundle and trade in my current PS5 with it. And I've also gotten a lot of points saved up for GameStop rewards stuff. So it's like cash all those in, hand out the 300 bones or whatever it is at that point, and then just get the new console. And it's a new, fresh console. You know, I can just download or whatever it is, remove my storage hardware stuff from my current PS5 onto my external hard drive, save the data there, reinstall it into the new PS5, and have a brand new console just shiny and ready to go for the game.
Oh, there you go.
Listen, as somebody that does this often, I like just got the Battlefront PS4 Pro.
And with the Darth Vader one?
Yeah. I had just gotten that. Good. And then they announced the Spider-Man PS4 Pro.
Oh,
and I'm
boy.
like, God damn it. So obviously that gets sent in. We get in the new Spider-Man PS4 because I don't need them both. I've done that plenty of times.
You have two PS4 Pros?
No. I got rid of the Star Wars one, and got the Spider-Man. So I've done this plenty of times. I have the Halo Xbox Series X. So I did that after having the original. So yeah.
Did you get that Barbie Xbox Series X though?
He tried very hard.
I really felt like I needed to get it for Sadot. We do need to get him. We need to get him into that Xbox. I know he's very interested in Starfield.
Man!
I definitely can't wait to explore the universe in 10 FPS.
Oh my god! Everyone man sky.
Yeah.
Desaturated man sky.
Yes.
So what do you think about
these
like original suits they're doing?
And be honest, Evan.
Oh, the digital deluxe edition suits?
Yeah.
I've said this in all my videos. I'm not a big suit guy. So because I'm already going to be rocking the best ones in the game that are already their default skins.
I don't see the black suit there.
So you go.
You say that.
That's interesting.
But I've said in Yuri's signature too.
What?
Yuri's. But I've said in my previous videos, I'm not a big suit guy. But also, when it comes to these costumes for the digital deluxe edition, I've seen people say like, "Man, I'm really wondering which edition I should get." And like, really, it seems kind of obvious which one you should get. It depends on whether or not you're a collector or just a gamer. And me, I'm getting the collector's edition for the statue because I want that statue. But I know the collector's edition comes with the digital deluxe edition for the game. Yeah. And the only thing in the digital deluxe edition is the suits, is the 10 extra suits, which are only locked, by the way, to the digital deluxe edition. 5 for Miles, 5 for Peter. And I couldn't care less about them. I don't hate them, but I don't like them either. Like they're just okay, cool. It's an art. They're all originally designed costumes from artists from Marvel and Sony, which is cool. Which is a good sign, by the way, because you know that the suits that people actually want are going to be in the base game itself without having to pay extra money for it. So that's a plus. But for the costumes themselves, I think the only suits that I like are all from Miles. So was it Kotatsu suit? Tokutatsu, whatever it is, suit.
That was one of my favorites.
I don't know of any of Peter's that I like. That purple one, was it purple and yellow that Miles had, or gold? That one looked cool. I don't remember any of Peter's. Like the Stone Monkey was odd. The Apocalyptic was weird.
I actually like the Apocalyptic.
I don't like the hair. If it didn't have the hair, I would have liked it, but I guess it's too similar to Spider-Punk. But I don't know. Like a lot of them are just. Let me actually look up the picture because I have all on my laptop. It's all saved data for the game.
Now, while you're doing that, I have a question. Do you think that, because you brought this up about like the suits, the older suits, do you think they're going to carry over some of those like more classic suits from the first game into this game?
Well, we know that there's that leak, quote unquote leak, that all of the previous suits are going to be in this game and they're going to have a symbiote variant. I don't think that's true, but I do think that a majority of like the fan favorite ones are going to be in the game. Probably some of the hit or miss ones like the Fear Itself suit and maybe the Spirit Spider may not come back, but we shall see. But again, I got the advanced suit. I got Miles' new suit. I got the black suit. I'm all set. But here we are. So tactical suit, Aurantia suit. That one looks cool for Peter. 25th century suit. That's okay. Storm Monkey, not a fan. I wish 1602 would have been in there. Maybe it will be. Apocalyptic. I don't like the hair. Tokusatsu suit for Miles looks sweet. Biomechanical suit looks fine. I'm not a fan of the mouth. Looks a bit too human spider-esque. Encoded suit looks okay. Red Spectre suit. We didn't know that was a tease to Miles' hair at first, but we do now. That's interesting. And then that Agimat suit, like Prowler mixed with Cyberpunk, pretty much. It's okay. Again, like, am I going to wear any of these throughout a whole playthrough of the game? No. Will I try them on just to see how they look? Sure. But am I a fan of them? Like, oh my God, these look amazing. Not really. But again, luckily I'm not a big suit guy. Otherwise, I just get the standard edition. But since I'm a diehard Venom fan and I love these games, I got to get the collector's edition just for the statue. But the suits are what they are. But I'm not going to be crying over them or anything.
We actually might see them next month, actually, because Gamescom is coming up, and
that's right.
I think they're going to be there. I think Insomniac's going to be there, like they were
I
at
will
Summer
not.
Game Fest.
I'll tell you that right now.
You're not going to Germany.
that San Diego was more than enough out of my wallet this year, so I'll just stay at home and chill and see the festivities play out.
I mean, if you were a real Spider-Man, no.
Wow. Oh man. Put on blast.
It's fun. It's probably for the best, because imagine if they weren't there. You just
seriously. Like that's why I didn't go to Summer Game Fest, because it's like
I actually knew they were going to be there.
Really?
Yeah. They called me Sadot the Prophet.
Aha. Makes sense.
I did not know that they were going to be there. I was actually very surprised when I saw them walk out.
I was
literally same. I was just like, oh, PlayStation's there, but is Insomniac there? So we'll see.
I was saying for like weeks that they were going to be there, and during the stream, people were like, "Where's Insomniac? You're not going to be there. You don't know what you're talking about." And then when Brian Intihar walked off the stage, I just looked at the chat like,
yeah. I looked at the stage like. Yeah, I was actually walking around trying to find. I was hoping they would actually be, because they had play days the next 2 days after Summer Game Fest. I was actually hoping some of the guys would be there, but I don't know. I went to James Stevenson's that wing place he likes.
Howling Rays.
No,
Howling Rays. Embarrassed myself, by the way. got their hottest or their hot flavor.
He can't handle the spice.
Oh my god! They warned me. They told me, nah, it's a little bit too much.
They looked at you. They looked at you and knew it. They knew.
Yeah, I literally in tears, but it was good. Anyway,
we get along great then because I can't deal with spicy food either.
No, I usually can. That's the problem. I like it.
Oh no,
it was just that heavy.
Oh like, man.
So
me, I'm like a bag of hot Cheetos and I'm done for. That's how bad I am.
Oh no.
Yep.
No, I actually used to order the sauces from Hot Ones, and
holy smokes, how are you alive?
And I would put them on just my regular food just for breakfast.
And then all of a sudden you wake up and you see Sean Evans right next to you, like, how's your day going? Like, whoa.
I was
wonders.
I was perfectly fine. But that's because I didn't try to bomb. I didn't get the bomb because that basically has no nutritional value. It's not. It doesn't taste good. There's nothing. Nope. It's just there to cause pain.
I don't know what Sadot has on the plate, so I don't want to like interject if he has another question queued up.
I actually had a question because we're all content creators here. So I wanted to ask you about your experience so far as a Marvel Spider-Man content creator, and if you've noticed anything different among the community or the reaction to yourself or just in general compared to when you started making Spider-Man videos to the current Spider-Man 2 campaign run.
As in like traction from people online watching, or just like
just in general stuff you learned as a creator, how you adjusted your strategies, how the community reacts to content creators.
Well, I wouldn't know about the community as much as other people, but I know like I personally have just gotten a lot more better at editing. I mean, me personally, I've just gotten a lot more better with honing my own personal style of editing. And I edit all my own videos. I had all my, one-on-one intros and thumbnails and all that. So me just personally, hunkering down and getting all that, trying to be more persistent with it has been fun. It almost seems like a bit of a rat race though at some points, because it's like, oh, what's the big news? And then they just do like the kind of like, instantly. There's one content creator that I'm not a fan of, but we'll name nameless here. But you tell us in the DMs. Yeah. I think you might know who he is.
I know pretty much everyone, so yeah. I have someone popped up in mind.
But like when you get like the what's that? Thumbnails, and they're just like not real news. It's like, oh, you're one of those, huh? So yeah, that's where it gets off-putting for someone like me who's literally existing because of these games. Like I started with 2016 with the reveal trailer came out, recording with my iPhone, just like, oh, what's this about? And then I had to learn by myself how to edit videos and do commentary. Then all of a sudden on Twitter and on YouTube, I see these grifters come in who have zero knowledge or zero passion connected to Spider-Man. It's like, can you not do that? Like it's very distasteful for someone like me, but it's also like, yeah, sure, get that bag, I guess. But at the same time, I would hope that the audience knows who's genuine and who's not. But also it's just about like being just yourself. That's all I could say for anyone who's interested in YouTube. It's just, if you're passionate about something, be it Spider-Man or not, stay true to your own convictions and also remain true to what you're truly passionate about. And that's what matters at the end of the day. Not clicks, not subscribers, not view counts, not watch time, not sponsors, just your engagement with your fans who appreciate you for who you are. And that's what matters most.
It's funny that you talk about how you kind of got started and everything. I remember when you were starting to like gain traction and get popular, I would see your name everywhere. And like I would see you get retweeted a lot and everybody's like excited about like the stuff that you were doing. And finally I'm like, oh, who is this Evan guy? I'm like, all right, let's click on it. Wait, this guy follows me? Oh, I'm gonna go ahead and follow him back. Okay.
Oh,
so that's how that happened. I always remember that.
Jay was starstruck.
I was starstruck. I was like, man, this guy follows me.
I think I feel, bro. Like I've been watching your stuff since ages ago.
That's crazy.
That's awesome. But also, like if you guys see on Twitter, because I'm only on Twitter and YouTube. I don't have Instagram. I don't have Threads, whatever the new stuff is. I'm just on Twitter.
You don't go on the subreddit?
Never. No. For my own mental sake, no. I'm sure there's already millions of hot takes for me.
Good. Oh, good. I actually did check this week because I noticed that I was getting an influx of really bad takes, and then I just checked, and oh man, they hate us over there.
Oh boy, I wouldn't doubt it. But yeah, like, what was I gonna say? Oh. Well, wait. Well, on Twitter, that's right. So on Twitter, I follow literally almost everyone who follows me, which is why you see on my following count, I'm almost at 3,000 people that I follow, because that's how I just form friends and connections with people. And that's one of the biggest reasons why the Spidey Squad exists in the first place, just following people who take their time to follow me. So that's just giving back as a way to the community, which is awesome. But
now I feel bad that I'm not following Evan. I'm the only one in the panel. Love it.
Right.
Well, we'll
change that. Yeah, exactly. There you go.
I'll do it right now.
Are you following my guy Superior Chris 17? He
is that Chris Clow, or is that someone else?
I don't know. He does a lot of he's somebody that like is part of my community that
he's a boy.
Literally followed me since he was like probably 12, and he does a lot of cosplay as Spider-Man lately, so nice. I think you'll enjoy his stuff.
Superior Chris.
There he is right there. There's my guy Superior Chris, and that is actually him in his little picture. So
nice, awesome.
I think you'll enjoy him. He actually did a Midnight Suns Spider-Man cosplay.
You mean game of the year of 2022? Because
I love that game.
That game slaps, and I'm pissed that no one else likes it.
Another great take from Evan. Here we go.
Yeah. He actually was the first person to do a Midnight Suns cosplay. So it is, his Spider-Man suit was pretty dope.
Sweet.
So, that game deserves more praise.
Yeah.
I flipped my lid when they did the whole called like One More Day tease with Mephisto. It's like, oh, you did not just do that. Oh, you did do that. Oh, God. Like, that was...
And it made Eddie Brock Venom.
They made not only did they make Eddie Brock Venom, they made him comic accurate Eddie Brock, which is so good. And it was so refreshing just to see classic Eddie in full comic form in a game with another Spider-Man who is also voiced by Yuri, who is also perfect in that game. So, I mean, I was like, yeah, I want Yuri to fight Eddie Brock Venom. You can in Midnight Suns. So play that game.
So you mentioned that you're doing journalism as a major?
Nope.
Or
communications.
Okay.
But yeah, that is the main goal for me right now. It's been since 2020, pretty much. I've been trying to get my bachelor's since then. So 3 years has been this whole journey of getting it. But it's a process, and it's very taxing, which you can probably see from me. I'm super exhausted, but we got to do it for you guys. But it is the end goal is to try and just one day, hopefully, fingers crossed, work for one of these companies, like Marvel, PlayStation, Insomniac, either community manager
Evan Filarca,
either any or, and who knows, but we shall see. Fingers crossed.
That was my question was what direction? Because I mean, I obviously see you sometimes, like, you know, looking into you know, if there's any internships and stuff like that.
I've tried. I've applied at several places: Ubisoft, PlayStation, Warner Brothers, Marvel, Insomniac, a few others, but like a bunch.
Is a good place to be for that too.
Activision Blizzard.
It's the maybe I forget Activision actually, but I know I did something related to
the Daily Bugle.
No, what was it? Shoot, remember the company name?
Just the Facts with J. Jonah Jameson.
Square Enix. How could I forget Square Enix? That was it. No, but yeah, it's been very taxing, but it's going along. 4.0 GPA, Dean's honor roll list. So I'm doing it. It's just
and you're famous on social media, so you would think that would help.
I was gonna say you would think that should be enough, but they're like, no, we need that dumb piece of paper too. It's like, oh, okay then.
I think I drove by Ubisoft when I was in San Francisco last. Is it down near Giant Stadium, like where the Giants play?
Yeah.
I've
seen it. I EA as well is another place I've been to and applied. I took their tour in 2015 when they released their first Battlefront game.
Oh, nice.
Which was awesome. But yeah, it's
Tech
City down here. It's also like
there.
You're in here, but you're not in here because you still got to like form connections and find people that work in your same space. And it's like, oh, do you know about content creation and YouTubing and all that? It's like, I don't know what you're talking about, dude. It's like, oh, okay.
I can say that I think the transition now is so much easier than it was like 10 years ago when I was starting. So I think once, you keep up the good work with school, obviously. And I think once you get through that part of it, I don't think it's going to be as taxing and challenging. I think you're a bright kid. I mean, obviously we see you, and I think you got a good shot.
Fingers
There's
crossed,
just Uncle
guys.
Jay over here. You know what I mean?
What Jay's saying is that when you get a job at one of these companies, he wants you to fly him out
Yeah.
to the studio so he can get early access to the game.
You're on the list.
Wow,
You're on the list.
1000%. I'm the old head of the community, so you know what I mean.
There you go.
Emphasis.
You're a vet at this point, but I got to learn from the best, so that's all the more important. But yeah, like it's wild because it's been a lot, and even for me personally, like doing this full time while also trying to get high grades and all that. It's like, man. But now it was in spring where I was doing all that always, which was fine. But now the game's coming out, so it's like, Professor, can you either give me an extension or just not grade me a bad grade on this? Like,
I know.
I don't understand.
I know people can call out of work for Spider-Man, but
yeah,
I don't know if that works for school.
I'll make them. I'll do whatever it takes to just say, hey, prof, just Venom's in the game. Give me time off. That's all that matters.
Give me 24 hours to finish the game.
Literally. Honestly, at this point, yes. Even right now, I'm in the middle of writing a 25-page essay, which is not fun. So I got to get on it right after this and recording a video, which I still haven't done yet. So back to back to back to back. So it's nonstop work for me. And getting up this morning, too, at 6 a.m. to try and get the PS5 covers was not ideal for me. But it's...
But did Peter say we're going to heal the world in the first game? Victor Lee Jones says Peter says it to Doc Ock in the first game.
I think what's a few bucks when you're trying to change the world? When he does that, but I don't know about heal the world.
I remember hearing. I just did a replay of Remastered. I don't remember hearing we're going to heal the world. We're going to heal the world.
I'm old, so I'm going to use that as my excuse.
There you go.
I mean, he doesn't even remember what he had for breakfast.
I do.
What'd you have for breakfast, Jay?
I don't remember.
Yeah, it was well about
whatever was in the fridge. That's all.
I think I made some eggs and sausage the other day. I had some leftovers.
I make a killer omelet, I will say.
Nice.
I cook for my roommate because he's hopeless, but yeah.
Did you take a stupid pill with your breakfast this morning?
Well, I don't want to keep you too long. I don't know if Sadot had any other questions. Get on to your work.
If you have a hard out, I did have I don't know if you have a hard out, but I did have a question because we like to do the theory crafting and everything like that, and we kind of touched on how we think Venom is gonna play out, but how exactly do you think they're going to introduce Green Goblin? Because under my theory, I think it's still going to be Norman, but I still have the whole Venom, anti-Venom Norman thing. But I did think Harry would make a better Green Goblin for this game than Norman would.
I mean, again, I think it's all tied to the Osborns at this point. And I even did a video about this, breaking it down, where if Norman is Venom, then Harry's going to become the Goblin after seeing that Peter killed his dad. kill, quote unquote, his dad, and then take whatever's left in the penthouse lab that Harry was tanked in, and find the pumpkin bombs, the glider helmet, the glider tech, take one of the spiders that's still, being experimented on, take the blood from them, inject them in his, body, Amazing Spider-Man 2 style, which would be wild. But if Harry is Green Goblin, then it all has to relate to whatever's going on inside that lab or Oscorp, because there's also a scene in the story trailer, very quick and you'll miss it, but Harry is
in the background,
hiding or like in the background or whatever, black suit Spider-Man, where he's just exploding all over the place. So that was awesome. But now it makes me wonder, like, how attached is Harry to the symbiote? Because that's this whole thing that's been keeping him alive. So in the tank, has he been like talking to the symbiote this whole time, like mentally? Or, like, do they have a bond already that they've established while he's been trying to get healed? And Norman might have seen it, because now we know it's an alien. So Norman might have seen the symbiote, like the Oscorp scientist that found it in the trailer. They give it to Norman. Norman gives it to Harry. And Norman knows what it is, or he just is like, here, this thing can heal my son. Let's just use it. So it's very layered into the narrative that they built up throughout the entirety of the first game, and Speckles and Miles Morales. But it's all about what's going on with Harry and Norman and the Osborn family and Oscorp, because that's the whole reason why Otto went crazy in the first place, is because Norman stole Oscorp from him. So it's this whole matter of family dilemma, but it's super intricately woven. And I think that, again, the narrative director, who I've met several times, he's the best, John Paquette, he's a genius. And I think that the story that they're crafting here, they know what the symbiote means to Peter as Spider-Man, but also for Venom as a character. And seeing what that's going to do for them in the future is super, super exciting. So I can't wait to see whether it is Harry, whether it is Venom, who is Venom, whether it's Norman who's Venom. I think any of those are good choices. Just make it make sense and make me as the player believe it. And that will be what's most important, is selling that new ideology to the player, but also making it more impactful for a new take on the character that we haven't seen before. Because, it's not Eddie. It may be Peter, but if it's Harry, because we already saw that in the Ultimate show, how is it different from the Ultimate show? So that's what I'm looking forward to the most.
Now, they said Eddie's not Venom, but they didn't say Eddie's not in the game.
Yeah.
So if Eddie is in the game, what do you think his role would be? Do you think it would be like a minor, like, hey, Easter egg, kind of here's something for the fans, or do you think he would have a major role? So
two things. One, I think he'll be in the game, because now we know J. Jonah Jameson's back in the Daily Bugle.
Yep.
MJ's working the Daily Bugle, and so is Eddie. So if we get to play as MJ again, walking around the Daily Bugle, chances are I think that we'll see Eddie there as well and get to say hi to him. Second thing is, we might have seen him in the story trailer. Because
the Wraith scene?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that scene where there's that other person right next to Peter in that, is it like a Hawaiian shirt or something? Like, I don't know, but whoever that is could be Eddie. And I don't know, it could be like some scoop that he got, and Wraith's like, I got to bring this guy down because he's like trying to, I don't know, expose this criminal or whatever. Like, I just want to kill the criminals. So there could be a scene like with that where Peter's trying to protect Eddie, who Wraith is going after for some reason. And it could be just like a little side like appearance for Eddie. But whether or not Eddie's Venom, we'll see. But I still don't think the Eddie fans are losing this round. I'm sorry, Eddie fans. But I think that he'll definitely come in, play at some point as like a fun like guest appearance.
But yeah, because Insomniac does, it's important to know, Insomniac does manipulate their marketing materials in order to make sure you're surprised. But this would be a very different level. What's up, High Roller? This would be,
oh boy.
This would be like Arkham Knight level of controversy if they went and made Eddie Brock Venom.
So when they say that Eddie Brock isn't Venom, I 1,000% believe them. And even like I've seen videos still from people like, no, Venom's in the game, and it's Eddie who's Venom. So you're just pulling your leg. Like, no, they're not. No, they're not. He wouldn't go on a whole stage and say that Venom is not Eddie Brock unless they meant it with their chest. So I believe them.
Did you see Chris Baker's video about his take on the way that Brian said that he wasn't Venom didn't necessarily mean he's not Venom at all in the game?
Yeah.
I don't remember exactly
what his trailer breakdown or was it his gameplay demo breakdown?
I really wish that I remembered verbatim what he said because it made me think about it.
Because I love Chris Baker.
I do too, and he knows Brian obviously, so he was going based off of like his experience knowing him and
terminologies.
Yeah.
I think there's definitely a way to weasel around that because I briefly talked about that in a video. Like they could mean he's not Venom, but maybe he's the anti-Venom. Or he's not Venom in this screenshot, but he could.
Or he's not Venom in this game, but he will in the Venom Stolo game, which I hope happens. But
something like that. Maybe he's in the post-credit scene, but yeah, there's definitely ways they can wiggle around that.
Do you think this third game they're working on is a Marvel game?
I don't think it is.
No. I think they already confirmed that, like, which I don't understand why people are like, what? They're making a new game? With the Macaulay Culkin Home Alone face reaction, but they confirmed that not only in 2021 that's a multiplayer game, which is their third game, but also that it's not Marvel related. So Spider-Man 2, Wolverine, and their third multiplayer game is not Marvel because they confirmed it's a new IP that they were looking for, like a new IP manager or something.
Were they Resistance or Killzone?
Resistance.
Okay.
Killzone was the guys who do Horizon Guerrilla.
Yeah. Okay.
Which is also a great game, but Resistance is Insomniac, which I love when people are like, oh, I love Infamous when they see Insomniac. Okay.
A sucker
go
punch,
away.
right?
Yeah, exactly. So it's like when you get those grifters coming in like, oh yeah, I love their old games. Checks list. Crash Bandicoot. It's like, oh, gotcha. Sure. But I definitely think that this third game is multiplayer is going to be a new IP, but I don't think it's going to be a Marvel new IP. And I think even if it was a Marvel new IP, it could be X-Men if that was the thing, but it's not. But if it was, it could be X-Men because they're doing Wolverine. And if Wolverine is going to be in his own game, which takes place before the X-Men, which is what Insomniac have already confirmed, which is crazy, then this multiplayer game could be X-Men. But it's not. It's a new IP, new universe, new thing. Totally sweet.
Imagine if it was a sequel to Sunset Overdrive.
PS5 Sunset Overdrive win is all I'm saying. Because I need it right now. And that game slaps. And I would not mind seeing it on PS5. But yeah, even then, who knows? Could be a Ratchet thing, could be a new thing. I'm down for anything Insomniac, so go for it.
Oh, we still haven't gotten into what Hip Hop Gamer said was going to happen, where there's going to be multiverses in
the rift. There was a lot. So in his defense, I think he said something about a playable Venom being playable in some way in that video. But
was he the one with there's smoke and tentacles?
No, I think
the third playable character. They have smoke and they have tentacles. And it's like
I think that was 4chan.
Yeah. I remember the Hip Hop Gamer leak with the
he said
multiple worlds.
The rift.
It's like
the rift
you
feature.
can use you can use that without being multiverse. So it's like you can use that for Mysterio illusions. You could use that for symbiote type stuff. Like if he's gonna go back and forth between like the symbiote mental thing, like he does in Spectacular, or not. So we'll see. But no, I don't think the Spider-Verse is involved in this game at all.
Yeah.
Landon's asked us a few times. He really wants to know what you think about Felicia's son that she lied about, if it's actually a real thing.
This is a great question, and I still think about it to this day. And this is maybe just my Felicia Copium fan side speaking. I think he's real. I think the son might be real. It's just that she doesn't want to confirm it to Peter to give him that burden, because she cares about him and not just Spider-Man, but also Peter. So, which is what I love about the evolution of Felicia Hardy's characters, because at first she only does like Peter. She only does like Spider-Man, and then she grows to like Peter more and more as a person until it's too late when he's already married with MJ. So this version, though, is fantastic. And they're like, oh, she's unredeemable after lying to Peter that way. But I don't think she was, because I think that he actually is real. And we might hear more about that in Spider-Man 2 if she comes back, which she was she was teased in the villain list in the Kraven trailer. So
I can confirm that she does not have a Peter's kid. She has my kid, so
boy,
we need to clear that up.
Oh man, Sadot working overtime.
I'm married, so I got no.
Nothing. Your wife is listening.
You found your MJJ. You're a man of honor in this case.
Yeah.
Except when it comes to Power Girl, then all bets are off.
I mean, we have gone over this though, that Felicia is my Power Girl in Marvel.
Yeah.
Oh, so Power Girl's your ultimate in DC?
I mean,
what about Starfire?
I mean, no. Power Girl is built.
Okay, wait a minute. Are you a Dick Grayson Batgirl shipper or Dick Grayson Starfire shipper? I need to know this.
I honestly don't think about it. I could go either way. I'm fine with either, actually.
Okay.
It really, I don't have a preference. I mean, I see both sides because like there's been big stories with both.
It's true.
I would probably actually lean more Barbara though, because I feel like I'm not as big of a Teen Titans guy.
See. Die-hard Teen Titans fan here,
yeah.
So you already know me.
Yeah. Well,
it's
funny
ship.
because Marv Wolfman, I believe, is the one that created Teen Titans.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was at E3 in 2017, they were just coming out with the Teen Titans Go pack for Lego Dimensions. And I was there as a guest of Lego Dimensions, and I was hanging out at the booth. And I had met Marv Wolfman before because he actually created Nova. Richard Rider. So
very nice.
Obviously, as many people know, one of my favorite characters. And I just happened to be hanging out at the booth, and there he is just looking at it all. And I got to introduce him to all the TT Games people. Like, this dude literally created these characters. So there you go. I don't know.
Nice.
I do have I guess I probably should have just answered like this.
Yeah.
I have those new Gotham Knights ones right there. So
awesome. What's your take, Evan? Do you think Gotham Knights DLC or no?
God, I already deleted off my PS5 right when I beat the game. So, I mean, what would they? And would it be Batman DLC or what are we talking about?
I think it's going to be Batman.
What?
I think it's going to be Batman, playable Batman, as much as people are hoping for it. But
move on, please. We got DC games in the works that are so much better than this.
They're clearly releasing something, and there's been a debate now about what exactly it is.
All I need is that Monolith Wonder Woman game, and I'm set. That's all I need. Go away, Rocksteady with Suicide Squad. I'm sorry, couldn't care less about it. Go away, Warner Bros. Montreal with Gotham Knights. End it now. You're not Avengers. Well, never will be Avengers.
I for one am looking forward.
Give me Wonder Woman.
I for one am looking forward to shooting the targets with Harley Quinn. Thank you very much.
Oh my god!
And
you mean the purple zits all over the place?
Can't wait. And I want to see that WB Games Montreal Superman game.
If they're the ones doing it, I mean. Someone needs to do it, so why not? Just bite the bullet at this point. Just go for it. Make it happen.
I walked around WB Montreal with Caboose and Uncaged Games, both of them saying make a Superman game the whole time. So we'll see.
I think I got that message.
Jay was the only one that didn't. He wanted them to make.
Did you graffiti it on their wall too, just to get it across?
No,
like, hey guys, I did this. I don't know.
I very famously, I am known for pitching Batman Ninja in feudal Japan with the anime style, literally in an elevator with the head of the studio, pitching him Batman Ninja.
Batman of Tsushima.
Yeah, basically.
What if that's the game? Maybe
at that point, I'd just be like, you guys need to get someone else in charge. Like whoever's in charge of WB Games now, just
that would be Jay.
They need.
That would be Jay's fault.
Not kidding. They need their own Bill Roseman. Bill Roseman is the man who makes dreams come true, literally. And I cannot imagine anyone more perfect in charge of all these Marvel games. Even if the Black Panther game may not have T'Challa, it's still a Black Panther game. The Iron Man game is going to be a Game of the Year contender. I know that for a fact. That game is going to be amazing. And Guardians was incredible. I have a poster of it literally right here on my wall, the Guardians of the Galaxy Eidos Montreal game. One of my favorite Marvel games ever made. And all these games is allowing new and fresh takes of these characters to be front and center. And it's like, even if people don't buy it as much as Spider-Man, because I've seen comments whenever I do videos on any other game besides Spider-Man, it's like, this isn't Spider-Man. I'm like, yeah, it's still Marvel, and it's still going to kick ass, though.
Yeah.
So that, even like what Bill said, like in the interview where I got to ask him a question before I asked him a question, he's like, we hope it sells well, but that's not what it's about. It's about just doing right by the characters. And that's what they need to do at DC. Absolutely. And that's why I trust fully for Monolith's Wonder Woman game. I think that's going to be a home run.
Absolutely.
Gotham Knights was not it. Ambitious, sure, just not what we wanted at the time. And it doesn't have to be a Batman game either. It could have been a full-on Bat Family game. Just the vision about it was the wrong thing to do. Suicide Squad's clearly going in the opposite direction of where I personally want to go. But now, after Wonder Woman, and if this supposed Superman game is real, where's the Green Lantern game? Where's the Aquaman game? Where's the Hawkwoman game? Warhawk, whatever her name is. Hawkgirl.
Constantine game.
Honestly, Justice League. Anyone, Flash, Ezra Miller Simulator, who cares? Like, something like that. I have no clue, but just something to get people more invested into the interactive medium of DC is what I think they really need to do now to step up their game, which is why you never see me talk about these DC games as much, because I'm just like, Marvel's where it's at for me, and I can't wait.
I think James Gunn is going to actually play a little bit of a role into this.
You mean the crypto game? The one that he teased?
Well, no, but like, think about it, because one of the things that he said is he wants these people that he casts to be the character in all media. And he did. So
if we get a Superman game, it might be Mr. David Corn. What's his name? David
Cornsweat.
Cornsweat.
Yeah, David Cornsweat.
Right. He'll be
Cavill.
Superman in this game if they make a Superman game, which I find is super bad, Jonah Hill style, for them to go. I think that's such a weird direction for them to take. But if he's good as Superman, fine. As long as we get a Superman game,
he looks
it good.
He literally just looks like Henry Cavill. So
I don't mind that. I'm saying, like, is he good in an actor who does an acting role for a game is not the same as an actor who does an acting role for a movie.
That's fair.
If we do that, then I hope he has the skill sets to bring it for all adaptations of Superman going forward. Because that's what he said. Like, imagine if, which I was shocked that I liked his performance, but Jack Quaid right now as Superman in My Adventures with Superman, awesome. He's great. So if they get that type of actor who can do that same energy into a game role, get their Yuri Lowenthal pretty much for Superman, then sweet.
Practically speaking, I don't put much stock into what Gunn said about having everything tie in, because he's going to have a hard enough time getting the DCU movies to work.
Yeah.
And video games, as we know, very complicated when you're dealing with, especially when you're dealing with licensed stuff, and they own their own IP, so they won't have quite the same trouble, but it's still quite a hassle, especially if you're trying to get actors, because you're trying to get an actor where you're going to see if they can do voice acting too on top of the screen, and then the scheduling. It's very impractical to me to have tie-ins from your movies and your games and animated. So I think we'll more likely than not, it'll be like an Elseworld situation.
And not only from like a scheduling perspective with the actors, but also from a audience perspective. Because it's like, I was in Comic-Con sitting next to people who are watching the Hall H panel and like, is this for a movie for Marvel? Because I thought the strike, they were gone. Like, nope, this is a game. And it's like, what? But they're having a whole Hall H panel for a video game? Like, yeah, that's how big they are now. So it's like, is the audience member really going to watch a movie, to then watch a show, to then play a game, to then follow the events of the next movie, to then connect to the show, to the next game? No, I think that's a terrible idea, and I personally don't think James Gunn knows what he's talking about. But we'll have to wait and see. But I think, at the very least, if Mr. Cornsweat is Superman for all medium, game, movie, show, all that, I would hope that he brings that charisma that I'm expecting for a character like Superman, into a game form and see what he'll bring to the role. And I don't mind like Cavill's gone because he's been gone for ages now, so it's not anything new. But just do right by the character. That's all I ask.
Very fair.
Fair enough. But before we get out of here, Evan, say something nice about Suicide Squad Kid of Justice League.
Is there anything nice to say? Oh boy. Tara Strong's great, as always. Can't go wrong with Tara Strong. Rocksteady is doing their best, I guess. It's good enough for me. Will I be buying it? Nope. But I mean, congrats to anyone who is. But
me and JayShockblast will be teaming up next February. We'll be running matches if you want to join us, Evan.
Oh boy, yes. Along with the 2 other people who are still playing Avengers, I'll be there. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, like I mean, if it's good, sweet. But right now, I'm just like, wasn't this game supposed to come out in 2022? And now it's like February until next year, and they just had a state of play that said it was going to come out this May, right? So it's like, okay, WB, good?
And there's like a whole issue with the tie-in comic because apparently that was delayed.
Is that even still out now? Or did they delay that?
It was supposed to have been delayed, but no one actually told the retailers that it was delayed.
It's like your game was supposed to come out. Like I'm sure they even have like even Funko Pops and stuff ready at this point too, because it's like all the merch was supposed to be going. So, oh boy,
game of the year 2024, we're calling it.
Oh god,
6 seasons in a movie.
unless Insomniac is insane and that rumor that Wolverine comes out next year turns out to be true.
True,
in which case it's over.
But
man,
in Jeff Grubb we trust, and he seems to think 2025. So
he's been like what? 0 misses this entire time. So
when it comes to Jeff Grubb, I just shut up and listen. Just assume it's correct.
He is him.
He is indeed. So we're gonna wrap it up. But thank you so much, Mr. Filarca, for blessing us with your presence. We got to get everybody. We had Caboose before. Now we got Evan. So we got to get the whole
today.
we had him like last month.
Oh, yeah. I got you. Well, thank you for having me. I always am a fan of talking with all amazing Spidey fans like yourselves about anything related to our favorite webhead, which always makes my day. And man, less than 90 days, less than 3 months away until this masterpiece drops. So
I'm only keeping track of the days because of Rock Riders posters.
Yeah, which are the best. He really the man, and he's awesome. But yeah, I can't. This game is. Again, yeah, probably Zelda will win Game of the Year, as it always has, but come on. I mean, we know
the real Game of the Year.
The real Game of the Year, exactly. What the fans want will persevere, I'm hoping, but fingers crossed.
Absolutely.
If at the very least, if all else fails, Yuri for best performance. That's the very bare minimum what I want to see happen.
Craven's gonna wish he never came to New York.
1000%. Hell yes.
Tell you that right now. So hopefully, glad Casual Avenger couldn't be on the panel, but he was in the chat. So appreciate our other co-hosts, and we're gonna be back once again next week. We'll see if we get another guest, but we'll probably just hang out and we'll play it by ear. I'm Sadot The Gamer.
JayShockblast.
And I'm Evan Filarca here with the Spidey Squad saying thank you all so much for watching, true believers. Stay spectacular, Spidey fans, and peace out.
And zip it up and zip it out. And we're